Hit it, boys, hit it.
Coach, if you don't mind starting us off, just looking forward at the regional.
Yep.
And your thoughts on the field.
I really like how we finished with Big 12 the way we did, so we feel really good going into this weekend. We're playing our best softball. All of our competition is tough. What's even more tough is there's one team that has a lot of former Sooners on it, so it's bittersweet. I'd love to see them, but it's hard to be competitors against each other, but you do what you do. There's some really good pitching in this regional, and we're going to have to be disciplined for it, but I'm excited. It's always fun to play at home, so we're looking forward to fans coming out and taking over.
Ryan Aber and then Jesse.
Yeah, Patty, you talked about it being fun to play at home. Haven't always been at your sharpest here to this point this year. You talked about it a little bit last week. What is it that makes you feel comfortable that y'all can turn things around here and string together some strong performances?
I think our last game here really was one of our better games, and there was a lot of energy, a lot of emotion, and we've been able to practice here more now. This is our home now. We've moved in, so I think maybe our feet will be a little more grounded here, and the focus has got to be where it needs to be. We played at the Hall of Fame Stadium in front of a big crowd and played very well. So I like where we're at, and we're going to need to be our best at home. That's why we earned it. So we're going to use it.
Patty, you kind of mentioned it just now, but last weekend, how important was it to play like that, just to generate some momentum going into the postseason? And was it, how much of it was maybe a reminder that when the stakes are high, this team is generally raised to that level?
I think we definitely needed to feel that. I think we're over some of those bumps now. I mean, we're getting to a place where your season can be over from this point on. Your season can be over at any weekend. So how badly do you want to keep playing? How badly do you want to, toe the line with your girls and go where you want to go? So that's, it's hot, it's humid. There's just no excuses now for anybody. You can't make excuses. You got to own it. You got to find solutions to things that aren't working and find the solution fast. So that's where we're at. I think they all know it, and we're going to put our best out there.
And then Mason.
Yeah. Patty, we talked about a lot in March that you weren't practicing here. Do you make too big of a deal, not big enough of a deal? What was that like?
It's you drive by it every day and you see it and you're like, oh, that's our home, but it really took us a long time to really feel it as our home, because we're still doing things at Marita Hines, getting on a bus, shuttling over, taking BP, shuttling back to Marita, changing into your uniform, shuttling back to Love's, game is over, shuttling back to Marita. It's almost comical the way we're having to go back and forth, but it is what it is, and we're going to do whatever we have to do until they're ready for us. So it was an inconvenience. There were times when I'm like, let's just go back and play at Marita. But we're past that now, and I think they've gotten really comfortable with the crowd now, and I really loved how we left here on senior day. We played one of our best games, so I think we have stepped over that hurdle, and but it's been a little trying, I'd say that.
Patty, Kelly was talking about she's faced some of these teams before previously. How much is that, the postseason experience in general, and the success she had last week at Big 12, all going to kind of culminate to help her this week? Yeah,
I think it was last year she played against Oregon at their Super Regional, I think, right? So it's helpful. Games, you can have a little confidence knowing, like, I know what they look like. Now, a lot of teams are quite different, but I'm sure some of them definitely are returners. So I do think that gives you a little bit of the upper hand going in.
James Hale and then Ryan Chat.
Patty, you haven't played these teams, so what are you running into this weekend? What have you found out about them so far?
Pitching. Oregon's got a fast offense. They run a lot. They put runners in motion. They do a lot of short game. They kind of bring it all at you. So you're going to have to be a very good defense. Timely hitting, they're feisty. You can see that, and I wouldn't expect anything less from the Lombardi team. Boston, very good pitching and dominance. They've lost maybe 4 games. They haven't played the same kind of schedules as us, but at the same time, when you find ways to win and you win, feel like you can do it against anybody. So you can't overlook them. They've got one of the better pitchers in the country on their team right now, and they're finding their offense is showing very good defense. So they're really good. Cleveland State has a pitcher as well, and she's been carrying them pretty much. And a lot of sacrifice bunts. It's kind of the sacrifice bunt, move a runner in scoring position, get one through, score your run. So we're going to have to be good. And I'm not telling you anything you don't know. If you're not good enough, you're going home, bottom line. And if you overlook anybody, you're going home. So we're going to have to really bow up, be ready, be at our best. Ahead or behind, keep playing, grinding. Pitchers need to be on. We've got to minimize walks, keep the ball in the yard. All of those things are really important.
We've talked a few times about former players that are now coaches that you've matched up with. What's the thought process, feelings any different when it's someone that you've had as much time with as Coach Lombardi and you see Oregon pop up?
I think we purposely avoid each other. So eventually we're going, there's nothing we can do to control this. I'll be honest with you, I am so excited to get her here for one reason. I want to show her what she helped build, and that's really important to me. So I'm going to meet with her tonight, and Sid, and Sam Martyr, who was an analyst for us, and I'm going to tour them through here because I want them to feel this. So that is what is exciting for me. After that, I'm not excited about any of that. But we're both competitors, and it is what it is. And if it's not going to be us, I want it to be Arkansas or Oregon. So, but I got to fight for us.
Ryan Amber.
Yeah, Patty, we talked to TRA, and she talked about some of the pressure that she was feeling at a point this season and how she sort of worked through that and let it go a little bit. What have you seen about the way that she's handled, what she's been through over the last few weeks and the way she's sort of started to come out?
Yeah, I think things looked a little bit easier for her. There's been a lot of pressing, and their lives are so different. I can't even tell you what they're doing in their lives because they have a lot of obligations with opportunities to make money. So there's added that, there's just added, I'm a senior now, there's just a lot of added, we've already talked a lot about this. And TRA, they just got drafted, everything is just always coming at them. What am I gonna do? And TRA's commitment is I am going to leave all that behind me and I'm just gonna focus on my last 3 weeks as a Sooner. And when she did that, you could feel things start to fall off her a little bit. She has a story very similar to Sid Romero, and I think there was a little conversation between the two of them. They've been longtime friends. So, yeah, all I want is the best for these guys. I want them to walk off saying, I left it all here. And we've talked about that.
Ryan Chapman and then Daniel.
Kind of building off that, you talked about having so many seniors and how that can be, it's great, but there can also be a struggle at times. Any easier for all of them now going through those exact emotions together to be able to kind of look inward and say, there's 10 of us going through the same conversations off the field, leave that back there type thing?
I don't know because I'm not really around them in that way. So I know their bodies get tired. Seniors get tired. Their bodies start to feel it a little bit more than the young ones. So you could see them dragging sometimes a bit. But It's because we work and we work hard, so they should feel that. I think they want to end the best way they can together. I don't hear a lot of conversations about what they should do as a group of seniors. I think that's more private between them.
Patty, Nicole May got those last 5 outs on Saturday against Texas out of the bullpen. Can we see her more out of the bullpen the rest of the way? Is that something you can think
Sure.
of?
Yes, looking like that, I was really pleased with our pitching against Texas. I was pleased with the entire look of our team and our attitude and our energy, and it was smothering. Felt like we were swarming, and Kelly was just absolute money, and then Nicole May had a different look about her, and they've been working really hard on the mental side. When you are a pitcher at the University of Oklahoma, your expectations on you are bigger than expectations on any senior or anyone else. So it's letting that go and remembering why you're here and what got you here, and just locking it down and not getting caught up in the thought of mechanics or what ifs or what if I don't. It's just I will, I'm going to. Those are the sounds that should be coming out of this team right now.
Anything else for Coach? James?
Coach, you spoke about the seniors a little bit, but the freshmen, how have you helped them handle this moment? I mean, they played in the Big 12 tournament now, they faced that, but a regional, how are you kind of helping them get through that?
I'm not doing one thing. They are better left alone, because they're kind of following along and doing their thing. This time of year, I really try to stay out of people's ears unless they need it. My attitude is more edifying, like the cans. You're going to. This is your light. This is your space. This is where you're best. Those are the things that they need more than anything. But these freshmen are amazing. They are incredible. They're just they don't know what they don't know, and that's a beautiful thing to watch sometimes. When we were national championships in 2000, it was the first time we'd ever gotten there. None of us knew what was going on. And when you don't know what's going on, you just play. And that's how we did it. So it's just keeping them. I'm not going to do one thing different for them.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Patty.